There is a moment every man experiences after a breakup, a strange silence where everything feels both heavy and hollow. You wonder if she'll ever regret leaving, if she'll ever realize what she lost. But here is the truth most men never hear. A woman doesn't regret losing you when you were trying to prove your worth. She regrets it when you finally realize your own worth and stop trying. That's when everything changes. A woman doesn't wake up one morning and miss the man who begged for her attention. She misses the man who stopped explaining, who stopped reacting, who went quiet and evolved. That silence, that shift, hits her deeper than any emotional text ever could. Because regret doesn't come from your words, it comes from your absence. It comes from your growth. Too many men give their power away after a breakup. They obsess, overthink, and chase. They scroll through her social media, they ask mutual friends about her, they replay every word she said. But what they don't realize is that the moment you stop chasing, you start healing. The moment you stop focusing on her, you start rebuilding yourself. And that's exactly what triggers real regret. Not manipulation, not pride, transformation. You can't make a woman regret losing you by trying to get her back. You do it by shifting the focus back to yourself. You do it by becoming the man she can forget. Not because you were chasing her, but because you've grown beyond her reach. That's the essence of masculine energy. You don't force anything. You let silence speak. When you stop chasing, you shift the dynamic completely. See, most women expect you to react when they leave. They expect the text, the calls, the long emotional paragraphs. That confirms her importance in your world. But when she's met with silence, when she hears nothing, that's when doubt creeps in. Did he move on? Was I not as special as I thought? That uncertainty starts to grow, and suddenly, she's the one thinking about you. That's the power of silence. It replaces neediness with mystery. It lets her imagination do the work. And while she's wondering, you're rebuilding. But rebuilding isn't about showing off. It's not about posting quotes, selfies, or pretending you're fine. Real transformation doesn't need an audience. When you rebuild silently, people feel it before they see it. You move differently, speak differently, carry yourself differently. You no longer live for validation. You live for purpose. You don't post your progress. You become the progress. You don't announce your glow-up. You embody it. And when she notices that quiet shift, when she realizes you were no longer orbiting around her, that when regret begins, because she didn't expect you to outgrow the version of yourself that needed her. But now, you're calm, you're grounded, you're focused. You're no longer performing strength, you've become it. The real secret is emotional detachment, not faking it, not pretending, but genuinely being at peace. Most men try to act like they've moved on, but women can sense when your energy still revolves around them. True detachment isn't cold, it's calm. You're not bitter, you're not angry, you're not proving a point. You've simply accepted what is, and you've decided to grow anyway. That calm confidence is rare, and when she senses it, it's unforgettable, because you're no longer reactive. You're steady, you're unshakable. When she checks your page and sees you smiling, not to impress, not to provoke, but because you're genuinely at peace, it hits differently. That quiet strength tells her something no post could. You didn't break, you built. You didn't collapse without her. You leveled up without her. And that realization, that contrast between who you were and who you've become, creates the deepest form of regret. The pain you felt wasn't a curse, it was fuel. Most men let heartbreak destroy them. But you, if you use it right, let it refine you. You hit the gym not to prove anything, but to rebuild discipline. You chase your goals, not revenge. You work on your mind, your peace, your purpose. Because the best revenge is never revenge. It's evolution. You stop performing for attention and start mastering yourself. And suddenly your energy changes. You stop trying to convince her of your value because you've finally started living it. Indifference is what seals the transformation. Not coldness, not cruelty, just peaceful indifference. When you stop letting her drama control your emotions, when you no longer react to her moods or messages, she feels it instantly. That calm indifference says more than any argument ever could. It says, I've chosen myself. It says, I've stopped living for your validation. That kind of peace can't be faked. It's earned. And when she realizes she no longer has control over your emotions, that's when regret begins to burn quietly inside her. Then, eventually, curiosity returns. Maybe she texts you. Maybe she likes one of your photos. Maybe she finds an excuse to reach out. But here's the test. When she does, don't rush to respond. Don't jump to reply. Because the moment you do, you hand the power back. Let time do the talking. Let your calmness confuse her. When you finally reply, keep it short, polite, emotionally neutral. Don't reopen old wounds. Don't remind her of what was. Let her see that you're not the same man anymore. You're not waiting to be chosen. You've already chosen yourself, and that's when everything shifts. The same woman who once felt sure about leaving starts to feel uncertain. She starts replaying memories, questioning her choices, wondering if she lost something she'll never find again. But you're not doing this to punish her. You're doing it because your life no longer revolves around her validation. You've reclaimed your frame. You've reclaimed your peace. The man who remains grounded when she walks away, and calm when she returns, that man becomes unforgettable. Because regret doesn't come from punishment. It comes from realization. And she'll realize eventually that while she was out trying to find herself, you were busy becoming the man she'll never replace. You don't chase anymore. You attract. You don't react anymore. You lead. You don't live for approval anymore. You live in alignment. So stop asking if she'll regret losing you. Start becoming the man who makes that regret inevitable. Not through words, not through games, but through transformation. Because the moment you truly evolve, the moment you stop chasing and start walking in purpose, you become the one she remembers, the one she replays, the one she can't stop thinking about long after you've moved on. This is Mind Hack Stoic, reminding you that peace is your power, purpose is your pull, and silence is your loudest statement.